Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm not sure how effective it's going to be asking a room full of people who tend to lean toward the ADHD spectrum to keep their focus on this. But let me get this out of the way right away. I don't know how I'm going to vote on TPA. Before you ask the question and interrupt me, I lean no. I reserve judgment till I see the final wording. Secondly, I feel no need to defend the previous vote of the ranking member. Frankly, I don't think it was defensible. But here's what I heard her say, reminiscent of one of my favorite expressions ever. When I make a mistake, I admit I'm wrong. What do you do? And I think it speaks to considerable virtue, and I thank her for that. Thirdly, with respect to the remarks of the gentleman from Kentucky, I understand his frustration. I truly do. The problem was just not accurate. The policy of the XM as it relates to coal has never been implemented. It's never been implemented because the Congress has passed language in the appropriations bill to prevent it from being implemented. So my question would be, if you're concerned with that policy, which has never been implemented, why not bring reauthorization to a vote with language in it which prohibits it, which is exactly what the gentleman from Tennessee, Congressman Fincher's bill, does. Look, with all due respect and modesty, today's hearing is about capital formation for small businesses. And again, with every effort at modesty, I will suggest this is a topic about which I know something. I had the great privilege to co-found a business with 2 employees and grow it over time to 300 employees. I had the great privilege to, for many years, be a member of the Seattle Alliance of Angels, making early-stage startup investments in companies. Frankly, I wish I'd been a little better at that. But the fact of the matter is, I've read more business plans than books in my life. Fact of the matter is, with the single possible exception of my friend from Maryland, I doubt there's a single person in this committee who has been through the process of reading proposed business plans by startup companies than me. I know something about capital formation for new businesses, and I know something about private markets, and I know there are stubborn myths that have taken root in this committee about private markets working perfectly. They do not. Because the truth of the matter is, with private markets, in private markets, small companies who use community banks to get working capital loans so they can sell the products overseas often don't get access to capital. They don't, because the community bank is unwilling and unable, and it would be imprudent for them to make loans for an international sale, if you will. In private markets, credit insurance on accounts receivable is available only on a very large scale. I have a business in my district named PepsiCo, which produces traffic cones and traffic signs. Not too many months ago, they sold $65,000 of those into the Netherlands. The private market would not meet their need, period. Period. So there are lots of myths abounding. One of the other ones is that this is the Bank of Boeing. And I want to remind you, as I have before, Boeing has 15,000 supply chain businesses. All they do is assemble. And a goodly number, thousands of those businesses are small. One of my favorite things to do when I'm home, and I suspect it's true of all of you, is to visit small businesses. A couple of weeks ago, I visited 2, AIM Engineering and J&P Machining, each with about 150 to 200 employees, almost exclusively providing parts to Boeing to assemble the finest airplane made on the face of the planet. And in the instances of J&P Machining, it was a business started in the garage of the current CEO's father, literally. Now they operate dark 14 hours a day. They manufacture parts through a completely automated process 14 hours a day with nobody on site. And it's an amazing thing, and they're growing. Double digits every year. They've bought additional land. They hope to put up an additional business or an additional building and invest, risk considerable amount into these machines to help create these parts, to help build these greatest airplanes. Those are the businesses that are affected. Small businesses started in garages, built over time, by taking risk, by trying to look around the corner and see the future. So at the end of the day, it seems to me that if our focus here is on access to capital and job creation, then we ought to hold the vote. The Chair opposed subjecting reauthorization to regular order at the beginning of this term. Now he's saying we're going to have a hearing. But I'm saying hold the vote. Let the majority will of this committee, of this chamber, work itself out. Hold a vote. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I yield back the balance of my time.